This book is so good. I'm enjoying it. All right. I'm about done tagging people. All right. Peace. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whoever just entered the room. Hey, Makisha. What's going on? So, I was listening to this rising. I said I was going to exercise, read a book, and plan for my event tomorrow, Wind Down Wednesday. So if you are local, come on out. We're going to have a good time. So, Outwitting the Devil. Sheesh, if you have not read this book or listened to this book, and I haven't even finished, you need to download it. It is on YouTube, so you can listen to this book, and I was listening to it today. The cool thing about this book is it's an interview. So someone is interviewing the devil, and the devil is basically giving his blueprint of how he's able to control the mind of unused space in your head, right? And when I say devil, I want you to understand that we are talking about devil, not in human form, but more so like an energy, right? So I took some notes. So if you see that I'm looking at my book, it's because note takers are money makers. And I want y'all to grab a piece of paper or a notepad and pen, because some of this stuff I'm going to drop on you is going to be mind blowing. You're going to be able to identify who is a drifter and how am I drifting in my own life, and how can I become a non-drifter. It's going to be so important. I'm going to give you the definition of what a drifter is, all those things. So first, the interview with the devil. Fear is the yes, thank you for joining. Fear, right, is a mind control tactic. So a lot of us, we have these fears, and we just allow ourselves to feed off of these fears, right? And we have to stop doing that. We have to stop allowing fear to dictate our life, right? And the devil, remember, I'm using the devil in terms of energy, is feeding off of your fears. So I'm going to list 6 of the most effective fears. Poverty. Yes, poverty. So that the struggle, that we're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it? I have to figure this out. Criticism. We care so much about what other people think about us, right? Ill health, right? We eat too much and exercise too little. Listen, I fall into this category because I love food. So, but when we eat too much and exercise too little, then we begin to have aches in our body. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that. Peace, welcome to the room. Loss of love. You know how, like, when you be in that good relationship and then you forget about self, because now you're starting to please the person that you're with. That's one form of loss of love. It could be maybe a family member, loss of love that way. That's another way. So I'm talking about the 6 most effective fears that allows the devil to be able to have control. And devil, remember, energy, over your space, that unused space in your mind. Old age. Everybody's always afraid of getting older. I am 41 years young, y'all. I call it level up. So I'm on the next level up, level 41. Death. Death is another one. We're afraid of what's next, right? The transitioning stages. So that's the 6 most effective fears of poverty. I got this light on me, so I'm going to take this off. Ways that you can counter that is love, faith, hope, and being optimistic. So remember, grab your notebooks, write this stuff down, because some of these things are like mind blowing. All right. All right, I'll come back to that. All right, things that destroy independence of thoughts. We don't have our own mind, y'all. Well, I'm not going to say we don't. Because listen, we are all working towards being independent thinkers, right? And this is what the blueprint of this is going to help us with. Things that destroy independence of thought. So this is what was in the book. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. Y'all ready? Cigarette smoking being the number one thing. When you're smoking cigarettes, it allows your mind to be clouded, all those things. Drinking is the next. But cigarette smoking takes precedence over drinking. So overindulgence of drinking too, right? Because when you're drunk, what happens? You see people staggering all over the place and they're not able to fully function too well, right? Overindulgence of sex, y'all. Overindulgence of sex. Fear and ignorance is what keeps people in bondage. So like I said, we're going to talk about drifting. So we're about to drift over to the next part of this. Habits of drifting. So first, let's talk about what drifting is. And you ready for this wisdom? Thank you for tuning in. All right. Habits of drifting. So I'm going to ask you, when I say the word drifting, what do you think of? Write it in the comments when I say drifting. What do you think of? Giving anybody a chance to write down what they think of when I say habits. When I say drifting, what is your thought of drifting? All right, peace, peace, peace. All right, so while you're thinking about it, I'm going to read to you what some of the things were. Drifters, people who think for themselves never drift, while people who do little to no thinking for themselves are drifters. So this is people who are allowing other people to do the thinking for them. Drifters is one who lets themselves be controlled by circumstances outside of their own mind. So let's talk about like bills that may be coming up. And you're just constantly pouring into your mind, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to pay these bills? Right? Allowing that distraction, allowing that fear to seep in. Right? And we were just talking about fear. Oh, I want to ask you something while you're on here. When you are fearful, because we all get fearful, right? When we are fearful, where do you feel it most? Right? I want to know, like, when that fear hits you, where do you feel it most in your body? Write that in the comments. I want to know. And if you're watching this on replay, answer those questions on replay. For me, I think where I feel it most is in my chest. Like right up in here. Let me know where you feel it most when fear hits. All right, I'm going to continue to read these definitions. A drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws at their way without making a protest or putting up a fight. These are drifters. Unsure what they want from life and spend all their time getting just that. Unsure. They're just like drifting, right? Literally drifting. Drifters is one that's too lazy to use their own brain. Sheesh. Wow. Mine is sum total of one's habit. So think about habits of, like, we acquired this through our ancestors too, right? So even before we were born, a lot of this stuff was like passed down to us, and we have to break those habits, right? So, and jumping back to one of the fears that I talked about was poverty. Poverty is a disease. Many people with poverty are drifters, right? So that means that we need to, the definitions that I listed, we need to reevaluate those and get out of that space. So this is the, oh, y'all can't see that. This right here is going to be some jewels. I really want y'all to take notes on this. I got it from non-drifters so that we can identify them and who drifters are, right? And understanding that it's our prerogative right to use our own mind. We have the right to use our own mind. We don't have to allow, you know, a certain energy or negative thought to take space or continue to have space, right, in those areas. Generational curses, exactly. All right, so let's talk about the drifter first. Drifter, total lack of major purpose in life. Guys, y'all can write this stuff down so that you can identify it, so that you can know when you're in this state of drifting off, right? You want to make sure that you pull yourself back to becoming a non-drifter. Lack of self-confidence. Never accomplish much that requires thought or effort. Spends all they earn and more if they can get credit. So we're talking about as soon as you get that money, you're just spending it. It's gone. Drifters are people who are sick. Little to no imagination. They lack enthusiasm. See how important it is to always try to bring yourself to that state of enthusiasm. They plain express weakness by taking the line of least resistance. Lack of control over emotions, ill-tempered. So just think about that. When you don't have like control over your emotions, you react quickly to what someone might say rather than thinking about it, seeing how your body is reacting to it, what part of your body is feeling subjected to what someone might have said before you go ahead and just spurt off like your answers. Jack of all trades, but good at none. Woo! This is hitting home, right? Making some mistakes over and over again, never profiting from failure. So you're never learning from your lessons. These are drifters. Narrow-minded and ready to crucify those who may disagree. Whew. Expect much from others, but give little. They're always wanting people to just give to them, right? Begin many things, but complete nothing. Who am I talking to, y'all? They go back on decisions. So they may make a decision that may be really good for them, but they're flip-flop. They're flip-flop on their decisions. And I already said this one. Eat too much, exercise too little. They work hard at getting out of things rather than working hard at achieving their goal. That's how you identify the drifters. And if I spoke to you on any areas of those lives in your life, just think about that for yourself moving forward. I keep getting all these messages. All right, the non-drifter. If y'all enjoying this, like, drop some 7s in the chat, because I think that this book is amazing. And also know that each time you read a book, because you can go through a book over and over again, you'll get some new jewels each and every single time. The non-drifter. Let's talk about the non-drifter. Well-organized plan. Oh, wait a minute. Did I read that right? Well-organized plan, major goal in life, which always working towards it. They're always working towards their well-organized plan. They're quick at making decisions and slow to changing their mind on it. Determined to reach the goal no matter how much time it takes. They're honest. They have good memory. They own up to their mistakes instead of playing the blame game. No, he did it, she did it. That wasn't me. All right, so they were used to being known as the go-getter, which is still a good attribute, but they are the go-giver. They're constantly giving. And giving doesn't always have to be monetary. It can be like giving of value, right? It could be giving of advice that may be helpful to someone else. It could be giving of positivity. All those things. They have a mind of their own, and they use it for all purposes. They're open-minded. They run the biggest businesses, right? And you just always see them, like when you do see them, they're like usually like, they light up the room, they're happy, people you want to be around. They, like I was just saying, they make their presence felt where they happen to be. So they inspire all who come into contact with them, right? So that's beautiful attributes of people who are non-drifters. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to talk about before I get off of here. I know I wrote down we are creatures of habit. So we get to decide what type of habits that we want to put out into the world. What type of habits do you want to put out into the world? Let me know your thoughts on what I shared today. You can drop it in the comments. All right. I wrote this down, so I want to share this too. Poverty is the devil's friend because it discourages independence of thought and it encourages fear. So if you're just hopping on, you're going to have to catch this replay. I already read you my notes. I felt like what I got from this was really good. I just wanted to kind of share it with you. And if you ever find yourself on the side of being a drifter, you'll have the awareness of thought, right? You'll be able to use your own mind, the awareness of thought, and you'll be able to go ahead and jump over to the non-drifting side because you want to be able to outwit the devil. And remember, when I say devil, I'm speaking about energy, right? Not devil human form, not devil like spirit, but the energy, right? So what we think about grows, right? It magnetizes. So we want to make sure that we're using our own mind to set goals, to do the things that we want to get accomplished, to not allow fear to predict the outcome, because then that means that you're losing control of your mind and you're allowing yourself to be outwitted, and you don't want that. So that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this, share this on your page so other people can get this information. Remember, you can listen to Outwitting the Devil on YouTube. You can also buy the book. If you've read this book before, let me know some of the points that you enjoyed. What was one of your biggest takeaways from the book? All those things. So thank you for tuning in, family. Peace and love.